Welcome! In this series of short videos, we will look at topics common to both the PowerBasic console and Windows compilers. Today we will look at some more commands that can be used to perform tasks on disk drives. Today we're going to be looking at some more disk utilities. These are commands inbuilt to PowerBasic that allow you to do things with folders or directories and files. Let's have a look at some code. At the moment, in the folder which contains our basic program, there are no subfolders. We're first going to test for the presence of a subfolder, and if that folder does not exist, we're going to attempt to try and create the subfolder from inside our application. So first, we're going to be using the isFolder command. The isFolder command takes a single parameter, which is the path and the name of the folder that you wish to test the presence of. This function will return either a true or a false. True if the folder exists, and false if the folder does not. The parameter we're actually giving this isFolder function has two parts. The first part is exe.path$. This will return the path, including the trailing slash, of the folder our executable is currently residing in. We're adding on to that string the name of the folder we wish to search for. Now, as we know this folder doesn't exist, this section of the code will be executed next. In here, we're going to attempt to create the subfolder. When attempting commands like these, it's always quite useful to use the try-catch error trapping to allow you to trap any errors that occur. This way we can attempt our code immediately after the try command. And we're going to be using the mkdir command, which is the make directory, which will make a directory or folder inside the directory we specify. So we're giving it the path of exepath plus the name subfolder. Exepath, as I said, is the name of the folder or directory our application currently resides in. So we're going to create a folder called subfolder, and we'll put a message out to our log if that folder is successfully created. If for any reason you cannot create the folder, you can catch the error in the catch block, and we can send a message to our log to say the subfolder has not been created. And the error which has occurred can be trapped using error$. This will give you the string of text that specifies the nature of the error. If we try running that code now, it will tell us the subfolder has been created. If we look inside our code folder, we'll see the subfolder has indeed been created. In the else part of our test for the folder, I'm putting a message into our log to say if a folder already exists. If we run the application again, since the subfolder has already been created, the isFolder function will return true, and we will come down to this line of code to inform us that the subfolder does indeed exist, as it does. This saves a second attempt to recreate a folder that already exists. So having created the folder, can we erase the folder? We can do exactly the same, but this time using the rmdir command, which is the remove directory command. So again, we will embed this in a try-catch block. First we will try the rmdir command to remove the directory, specifying the path and the name of the subdirectory we wish to remove. If that is successful, the next line of code will be executed to put a message in our log to say the directory has been successfully deleted. Should an error occur, it will drop into the catch block, and we will send a message to our log saying the subfolder is not deleted and printing out the error. As we know, the subfolder currently exists. Therefore, it will attempt to delete it. Let's run that code now. So it's telling you the subfolder already exists, and it's telling you the subfolder is successfully deleted. If we have a look at the folder, we'll see the subdirectory has indeed been removed. So let's for the moment comment out the lines of code which attempt to delete this subfolder. And what we will do next is we'll want to create a file in the current directory. As we're going to be doing this a few times, I'm going to create a subroutine whose job it is to create a file in whatever the current directory actually is. And we'll call that new subroutine create a file. This new function will take a single parameter, which in this case is the name of the file to create. We're using the freefile command to get PowerBasic to give us the number of the next file handle. This saves having a conflict between your file handles. We're opening the file name for output with that file handle, and we're printing a message to our log to say we've created the file successfully. Should we be unsuccessful in creating that file, we can catch the error in the catch block and put a message out to our log telling the user what the error is in creating the file. And the final stage in our try catch block is the finally stage. This is always executed, regardless if the error has occurred or not. This will close down access to the file. As you will see, we have specified no path in the create a file parameter. We're just giving it the name of the file. If you do that in PowerBasic, what it will attempt to do is to create the file in the current folder. As we haven't specified anything else, the current folder will be the folder in which your executable resides. So at the moment we have no test file sitting in this folder. So if we run the application now, it says the file's been created successfully. And there is our test file.txt. We didn't write anything to the file, we just created the file itself. So having created the file, can we erase the file as well? Again, we're going to embed this in a try-catch block. We're going to use the kill command to attempt to erase the test file.txt. If the attempt to erase the file has been unsuccessful, we will print out the error message to our log. So as we will see, the file currently exists. If we compile our application and we run the application now, it says the file has been deleted successfully, and the file is indeed no longer there. So by referencing a file without a path, the system will assume that you wish to create the file in the folder that the executable currently sits. So what other commands exist to allow you to handle directories? We can use the change directory command to point our default folder to this subfolder. Again, we're going to embed this in a try-catch block. The chdir command will change to the directory we have specified. So we're going to specify the subfolder directory. And to confirm that we've actually switched to that, we can use another command called chdir. This will tell us what the current directory in which files would be created is going to be. And again, we want to catch any errors and put them out to a log should any occur. So if we try running our code now, we'll see that it has changed to the subfolder. And it is showing us that the current directory is the directory we were in, the code directory, plus the subfolder. So now that we've actually changed our current directories to the subfolder, any attempt to create a file without specifying a path would create the file in that subdirectory. So we'll make a call to our create a file subroutine once again. We're going to create a file called testfile2. As you will see, there is no file called testfile2 in the current directory or the subfolder. If we run the application now, it tells us the file has been created successfully. And if we have a look, we'll see in the subfolder, testfile2 has indeed been created. So we've successfully changed the subfolder into which any files without a defined path will be created. We can go a little further and we can actually change the current drive using the chdrive command. And again, we're going to put this in a try-catch block. All we need to tell chdrive is the drive letter that we wish to have as our current drive. And we'll use our chdir command again to print out which directory we're actually pointing at. And as before, we will complete the rest of our try-catch block. So if we run that code now, you will see it has indeed changed the current directory to the G drive. So as it has changed the current directory to another drive, if we attempt to create a new file, it should create that file in that drive. So we will create a new file called testfile3.txt. At the moment on our G drive, there are no files. If we run our application now, it tells us the file has been created successfully. And if we have a look at our G drive, we'll see a testfile3.txt has indeed been created. So what we've achieved today is we've used a couple of new commands. We've used the make directory to make a directory, a remove directory command to remove an existing directory. We've used the try catch block to test whether the function we're attempting has indeed worked or not. We've used the isFolder function to determine if a folder does indeed exist before we attempt to make it. And we've used the chdir command to change to a subfolder and the chdrive command to change to an entirely different drive. Hopefully you'll find these commands useful in your applications, but that's it for today. Thank you for watching.